I am scared of this already. We're taking big swings on Braum's kits. Duration has been increased by how much? Damage improvements. What do you mean damage improvements? Portals now have additional projectile. Oh, we are so screwed. Braum is gonna kill us all. 2XKO patch notes 1.1.1. I'm concerned for this. New content, Caitlyn. If you guys haven't seen the trailer already, would recommend. Running new champion to the roster. Caitlyn Sheriff Piltover is ready to lay down the law with the Hex powered rifle. I did mention earlier that that when it came to Ahri skins, I was hoping that Arcade Ahri would be one, because they could potentially do like Arcade Ahri and Battle Pass, or not Battle Pass, sorry, Battle Boss Blitzcrank. And here we are. I'm so glad they picked this one. Time for the good stuff. System changes, balance changes. So the projectile changes, basically the things. So this is something that we saw in the preview from Yohozi. The champion that fired the projectile is hit by an attack when the point champion is hit. When throw tech occurs, the following moves are not impacted. But the following moves are not impacted by this change. So if your point champion, or if the champion who fired the projectiles, the assists, get hits, then the projectiles will all go away. Projectile attacks that are chargeable now fire automatically when performing a handshake tag. Looking at you, Teemo. And then looking at you, Caitlyn, before Caitlyn even releases. So your backdash, forward dash adjustments. We redistributed the movement on our fastest backdashers so they now travel backwards evenly across the backdash. Previously, champions move much further at the start of their backdash than the end of the backdash. It slows down It slows down backwards chain dash while keeping the distance traveled relatively similar. So they're punishing people for chain backdashing, but they're only doing that on the champions who are actually quick. Like, we already have so few quick champions. Now you're making the quick champion slow too. Hitting assist wasn't punishing enough. Running away and calling assist is a powerful neutral strategy, also known as the only strategy that most people were using, myself included. So we're adding counterplay to make bad assist calls riskier. Hitting assist now causes a 4-second cooldown, up from 2. This also applies to hitting a super assist and sidekick assist. When assist is parried, they now lose collision. This couple, okay, so you now can just run through people. You're not forced to roll. You're not forced to jump over. You just run straight through them. Juggernaut fuse. Base health has been, so we nerfed Juggernaut and now we're buffing Juggernauts. Juggernaut fuse max health has been increased by 10%. It went from 120 to 130. Break meter gain per unblocked hit has been increased. Break meter gain has been increased by 0.01, so it was doubled. It went from 0.01 to 0.02. Eject power has been increased. The Juggernaut player's recoverable health. A successful eject hit will now heal 50 more health. What the heck? I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that you recovered health when you did this. Input changes. Level 1 supers can no longer be car canceled into level. What? Level 1s cannot be car canceled into level. That was a thing? I'm learning a lot today. Okay, showtime for the things people, including myself, are most worried about. Namely, you and you. We'll start with my girl. What do they do to you? Ahri. Ahri is a strong former in the meta. Yes, she is. This patch, we've primarily taken a hit at her aerial and grounded runaway. Are they just going to try and make her a rushdown character? Mid-air Foxfire Blast has now a custom hurt box. Okay, I'm going to have to see what the heck that means later. Rain assist is affected by the projectile rules adjustment and can now be interrupted more easily. Yeah, so the rule changed earlier. If you get hit, your Ahri assist will stop firing. Buffs. Spirit Rush is no longer considered an aerial attack and can no longer be. Yes! I can jump over people and call that assist and not have the 2-inch hitter backwards. Nerfs. Backdash speed has been decreased. Sorry, we do that right. M range has been slightly decreased. Can we get our 1 frame back then? Because they buffed the range, but they buffed the range of her medium, but slowed it down by a frame. So now they're decreasing the range of her medium. So can we get our 1 frame back and have it be 9 frames instead of 10 again? No, didn't think so. Spirit Rush. Her box height has been increased. Spirit Rush can now be hit more by standing attacks. No, why? I was happy for 1 second. God damn it. Couldn't you let me be happy for 1 minute about the fact that they buffed this assist? Sucks losing this, but I do understand why they did this, and we'll see just how much the backdash has been decreased. Because if the backdash has been decreased by a good amount, and we lost this, Ahri's runaway is going to be feeling bad, man. If she's greatly slowed from backdashing, and loses the second air dash, her runaway is going to be way worse. We'll see what this looks like, but as long as the medium wasn't nerfed too harshly, then she should still be fine. Now has more hit stun scaling applied to combos. Why? Increased hit stun on up forward Spirit Rush allows it to combo against Warwick more easily in Ahri's core combos. The problem, wait, what? I'm gonna come back and read the rest of this. If Warwick is not in the bug fixes, we have a problem. Mid-air forward Spirit Rush to pass through Warwick on hit. Mid-air? Oh, wait a second. Because the Spirit Rush is mid-air. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. I don't care about this anymore. We're good. As an Ahri main, I will say this could have been so much worse. Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is still not quite strong enough to compete at top levels of play. We're making updates to their normals and hurt boxes to let them scrap it up in neutral. So we're making his giant normals have smaller hurt boxes. That's slightly concerning, but we'll see, I guess. For a grappler, Blitzcrank has weak standing normals. We're improving the standing normals, so M hitbox is now larger. H now travels further. Is that already read pretty far too? Sounds like a Dragon Ball buff. I'm a little concerned about that. So Blitzcrank. I'll be honest, I thought there was going to be a lot more. I really thought Blitz was going to get a lot more than this. They basically took a couple moves that were never used, and they're trying to get them to maybe get used barely. Not that I'm complaining, because the idea of Blitz being strong is kind of scary. Yeah, I really thought they were going to do more to him. Maybe when I see them medium and heavy, I'm going to instantly regret my decision or regret what I just said and be like, never mind, this is the worst idea ever. Why the hell did they do this to us? Braum, another champion, supposed to have a paragraph long. We're taking big swings on this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I am scared of this already. We're taking big swings on Braum's kits. Stand behind me. This is now the new animation. Braum now walks forward, and his duration has been increased by 20. Whoa. Who thought this was okay? Duration has been increased by how much? I'm very concerned. For a full second, Braum is going to put a shield up between him and you, and walk you down. Charge battering ram. S2 no longer has a projectile destruction dead zone between the charge and the release of the attack. There's a dead zone? All these things are new to me because this guy has never had these problems when I fought against him, but okay. Now makes Braum's hand and arm immune to projectiles during the attack. Again, never had this issue whenever I fought against the Braum, but okay. Damage improvements. What do you mean damage improvements? Damage has been increased by 5, 10, 5, 5. Okay, it's fine. It's 10, 5, and 5. It's fine. Great. He's better at catching reverse. He doesn't need to. His button's hit so far already. He doesn't need to. Being able to back away from that is the only way I was getting out of his freaking pressure. Yeah, these aren't even the buff section. Portals now have additional projectile. Portals will now shatter Ekko's Timewinder, Jinx's rockets, Ahri's Foxfires. This portal will now break through them all. Oh, we are so screwed. Braum is gonna kill us all. Darius. He did not need many buffs, so oh no. We're almost at Ekko. Alright, Darius first. He does not need help opening people up. He's playing a big body strike throw character who has an OTG for throws with giant ass normals. He does not need help mixing people. Why are they buffing his projectile? A champion who, I might add, for the longest time, did not even have a projectile, because he doesn't need a projectile. They gave him one because they're like, oh yeah, since we gave this character who doesn't need a projectile, who never needed a projectile, we're kind of upset that he's not using his projectile very often. So we're going to make his projectile better. Why? Apprehend cannot be charged, so yeah, guess what? You see Apprehend, you can no longer just press parry. You now have to take a 50-50. And then if you guess right on the 50-50, with parry, congratulations, you're out. If not, well, too bad. You're eating a mix-up either way. Damage improvements. He does not need more. Darius isn't lacking in damage, so we're being gentle in our buffs before. Darius isn't lacking in damage, so we're still buffing him anyways. Darius isn't lacking in damage. That is where this section should end. Delete the rest of this. It's a classic. Dude, I played League for 11 years. I am well aware, but that's not going to stop. That's not going to stop me from having the same reactions I had freaking back then that I do now. It's like, why and who? Okay, Ekko. I swear to God, Ekko. I know you're not going to, but please, for the love of God, give me some hope for this patch. Ekko continues to be a monster in the meta. To reduce the power of his offense, we're drawing a line in the sand. Ekko can no longer cancel a failed throw into replay. There better be more. Medium range has been slightly decreased, so same thing as Ahri, I guess. Overhead, hit stun has been decreased on counter hit. This move can now only combo into life. Okay, that's not really going to change or do anything, but okay. First hit of Mega Time Winder now causes damage scaling. Maybe he won't do superhuman damage before the break thing now. This will reduce Ekko's overall damage off stray hits. But never mind, that's only off stray hits, not off of his actual combos. Never mind. Down as 2, mid-air chrono break meter gain has been decreased by 2. Okay, I don't think that's going to change too much, but okay. Mega Time Winder now continues to travel and parry. Hey! That's the most impactful nerf on this thing! That is the most impactful nerf on this entire list, and I wish I was joking. No, it still comes back, but you can now punish him. So basically, like as of right now, when he throws it and you parry it, you stay in place and the Time Winder stays in place. So you have to repeatedly keep parrying it over and over again, right? But unless you're able to cancel into level 3 quick enough, he will recover before you do while you are still parrying, and you're going to be forced to block it anyways. But this change, if you parry the Time Winder will keep moving past you anyways, allowing you, if you're close enough, of course, to then punch him before it comes back and hits you. So his Oki is still incredibly broken. It's just, they shot the strongest though. So he went from broken Oki to very strong Oki. I think Ekko is more than fine. Jinx continues to struggle against aggression in the meta. Some of her projectiles aren't being used as often as others. Jinx often chose to use other projectiles over flame chompers in neutral. Shocker, we're improving recovery on flame chompers and flag. Hey, this is what I said. Now can now only be canceled into fish bones or zap after the 6 bullets. Bullets that causes damage scaling now deals 10 more damage. If 20 damage is now 30. Its recovers and decreased by 2, going from -11 to -9. No longer punished by ultimates or Yasuo's Stormbreaker on block. Why are we nerfing Jinx at all? Explosion chip damage is decreased by 40%. This is the only ultimate that gets its entire damage on block, so the chip damage was overtuned on this move. That part is true, and she is also plus on block on that move too. Warwick's Interdress S21 Super will now properly track a Jinx performing fish bones hop down S2 on the ground and midair. Feels bad for Warwick players against Jinx players. Imagine Warwick using his S1 Super to punish what looked like a projectile. Just for Jinx to be in the middle of doing her hop, and then she just goes soaring over Warwick. Okay, Teemo, what did they do to you? So we know you're being shot. We accelerated most major Teemo nerfs through a previous balance patch, and we're seeing positive outcomes from those changes. Teemo is still performing, but is not dominating. We're shipping the remaining Teemo nerfs that weren't significant enough to accelerate. I'm going to be very curious because Jose made him sound very significant, but we'll see. While these are nerfs, they're designed to clean up remaining inaccuracies or outliers in his kit rather than bring down his power meaningfully. I still would heavily disagree with this, but we'll see. M block stun has been decreased by 4. It was 20 frames, it's now 18. Accidental damage, AJ's recovery has been increased by 5 frames. It was -4 blocks, now -9. Okay. Teemo's M and HHF frame data that didn't align with other champions. That's okay, that's fine. Number of darts fired has been decreased by 1. It's now okay. Damage darts has been increased by okay. So they're trying to make double down super into tags slightly worse by making the darts not last as long, I guess. Maybe they're right. Maybe these nerfs really aren't going to do anything. Retreat down as 2 is now invulnerable frame 4 instead of invulnerable from frame 2. I'm not going to lie. I already thought it was frame 4. Oops. I definitely thought it was going to be a lot worse. The bushfire nerf, ironically, is probably the most damaging one of this list. I don't think Teemo got nerfed as hard as I thought it was going to. The general gameplay nerfs, I think, are much harder on Teemo than any of these nerfs. That being said, Vi. We're making a significant improvement to Vi by allowing her to cancel charge knuckle down into S1 specials. We want to continue to emphasize footwork in Vi's routes and her pressure, and this change will improve her pressure strings when she wins neutral. I honestly think her pressure strings are already really good, so this has me very concerned as well. Air block stun has been increased by 9 frames. Jesus. Crater Maker didn't lead to advantage for Vi on air block. Now when Vi connects with Crater Maker on an air block opponent, she won't be at a disadvantage. Okay, so now she's actually got a much better anti-air move. I mean, Vi's pressure I think was already pretty good, so the fact that her pressure now was just made better, which is definitely really good for her. And then the fact that she's now going to be plus off her end. So like before, like it was a recurring joke with like Ahri versus Vi. Vi can't beat Ahri because Vi's only option is the ground slam against Ahri constantly in the air. But now Vi is plus if she catches Ahri blocking that attack in the air. Now it's a legitimate counter strategy to Ahri being constantly in the air, or anybody really jumping pretty much. Like Vi's always been really strong on the ground. Warwick, we're focusing on 3 changes for Warwick: improving stability, to help Warwick's offense. Does he need it? Does he need it? Wrath of the Beast, forward S1, and Claws of the Beast, S1, travel faster and further while in Bloodlust. Climb Ren, promo climb back near corner medium is more useful in pressure. And Spinning Slicer mid S2 gives more advantage on hit. They made them both faster and go further? Okay, I might have stand corrected. I might have to make a tier list and put Yasuo, Ekko, and Warwick at the top of the tier list. Versus Spinning Slasher launch height has been increased. So he's going to basically what we're getting from this is he's going to have potentially a lot of new combos. And that's what we're getting from this is Warwick's going to have a lot of new combos. Hurtbox improvement. Claws of the Beast S1 and Rage of the Beast no longer have a hurtbox on Warwick's back. Buffs changes. Block stun has been increased by 3. It was not. Sweep is -8. And also goes further. Now travels 15%. Wrath of the Beast, his cross up now goes 15% further. Wrath of the Beast pushes back further. You better not have made this harder to punish. I swear to God, you better have not made his freaking cross up attack that's basically instantaneous hard to punish. Bloodlust forward S2 was -8 frames, it's now -5. Okay, nerfs. Please give us a nerf to the uppercut at least. I can accept basically all of these things. Just please let them nerf the uppercuts. Possibly that's when block stun has been reduced by 2 frames. It's -6, it's now -8. Punching Warwick's low and overhead option is like accessible. Hey, they nerfed the overhead. They nerfed the overhead. It's now -8 on block instead of -6, so it's now slightly easier to punish. That really it. His anti-air uppercut still has no recovery. Yikes, 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 yikes. So not only are they making it more consistent, they more than likely just gave him like an infinite number of new combo routes that'll probably all increase his damage. His uppercut attack that basically has no recovery still has basically no recovery. His Bloodlust cross up is now better, and all we got in return for stopping that, or for all that, is his overhead is now -8 instead of -6. Ekko, Yasuo, and Warwick top 3. Yeah, so Ahri didn't get nerfed out of top tier, but I had her third before. She is now she is now at maximum 4. Assuming Yasuo didn't get nerfed that much, which I don't think he is. Yasuo continues to be strong and neutral and on offense. To build clear weaknesses for him, we're giving Yasuo more recovery on medium and crouching medium. This is more recovery than other champions have on their medium attacks. But we believe it's in character for Yasuo to want to take his shots carefully rather than mash and get full conversions. Actually, crouching heavy, hitbox size. Swooping Blade, forward S1, hit stun on ground opponents has been increased by 8. So his grounded cross-up attack now has 8 frames more hit stun. Okie dokie. Nerfs. M recovery increased by 6. The crouching medium recovery increased by 5. Okay, at least it's more than 2. Yasuo's on-block pressure is particularly strong to add clear counterplay to immune attacks. We think he's too strong. We think he might be too strong on block, so we're going to make him worse. So we're going to leave that alone and make him worse if he misses his large mediums. Yeah, time to try to push block his jab, I guess. Now in counter hit recovery, increased size of throwable area is now easier to throw. Yasuo performing. Lower hitbox is now removed after 6 frames. So it's still basically instant. It still basically has no hitbox attached to it. And you're now being told you have to throw it or else you will just get for it. Sweeping Blade now is a hurt box behind Yasuo. So now this right here. They need to do this to this. This to this. If I swipe at the air when they do this, I will still hit them because there's still a hurt box behind him. Arcade Mega Bundle. The arcade one is first! Hey guys, we are playing Arcade Ahri tomorrow. Yeah, Ahri's got 3 skins. Literally everything except for Heartseeker, which is kind of funny because her ultimate is Charm. Has an Ahri skin attached to it. But yeah, and that's the end of the patch notes. So I feel like I say this every patch, which is why I'm hesitant to say it again. Things continue to go in the correct direction. My issue is I have said that about every patch, and that literally leads to nothing changes. If I completely ignore Caitlyn at this point, the only thing I think is going to change is I think we're going to see less Ahris, and in return we might see more Vi's and Warwicks. And I'm not saying that because I think Ahri's gonna be bad, but the changes. I think Ahri's still gonna be very strong, but because her runaway game is definitely going to be worse, I think some people are going to drop her for that, and then are going to look to potential, and then people will probably just look in general to pick up Vi and Warwick, as they got buffs, and a good amount of them, when they were already fairly agreed upon to already be incredibly strong picks. Patch is overall good, even though I will cry about the Ahri nerfs again. But I still think unless Caitlyn is really strong, we're still probably going to see 5 to 6 echoes in basically every top 8. Yasuo is still basically going to be everywhere. And then we might end up seeing a rise in Vi or a rise in Warwick from the laundry list of buffs that they both received.